Yeah, I can appreciate them trying something different here. It's just a question of... It also looks like you've got some comfort with NJ, seeing that he is a level 26 Timbersaw, but...
What about the bronze on everyone else, though? The bronze.
Yeah, well, that's where I appreciate the attempt at trying some things, right? So, in the end, we'll see how it's able to work out. I'm also concerned on just the BKBs that are able to protect Vici against pretty much all of Mystique's damage until Furin's able to kind of get involved. Even then, like, a lot of his damage now is kind of mixed with the Maelstrom into Gleipnir with the Wrath of Nature. So, it's... yeah, we'll see. It's going to be pretty tricky. I guess the one thing is that I don't think they're going to be able to shove out the Timber in this lane. It's going to be a double strength, so Phoenix Sven into the Timber and the Tuss. So that should kind of enable Tuss to make a little bit more rotations across the map to maybe help out mid and help out bottom.
The battle begins.
So it doesn't look like there's any big contests going on right now. I think what Team Mystique need to do, they need to put all of their eggs into their offlane. I think Timbersaw needs to be set up to have the best possible game imaginable, because when you think about it, they don't exactly have the heroes to be able to deal with this Timbersaw unless it's like that super burst damage at the start, right? Like Sven is going to need maybe a Silver Edge, maybe a Blink Dagger, maybe that BKB to be able to take him out. Or just find him when he doesn't have reactive armor stacks. All the other damage is kind of slow coming through. And like you've been mentioning, they're up against this dual strength hero lanes. So Timber should be in place to have a pretty nice time getting that early farm so that he's not very easily burstable. But has to prevent deaths like this in the early game. He's already starting to get focused down by Vici.
Yeah, I think Yang has an urn queued up, so we're going to see that built into a vessel. And I do think Sven's probably one of the better physical damage dealing cores against someone like the Timber, just because you have your
deal 1,000 damage a hit before the armor stacks up.
Yes, exactly right. That's the thing. And I think TA is very similar as well. So even though you're a crap load of physical damage that Timber likes playing into, it's kind of not fun when they do so much damage in a short span of time. So we'll see how NJ is able to get out of the lane. Of course, going for the Whirling Death early on, helping with his kind of harassment and securing the last hits, but we'll take a look at how this bottom lane is able to shape up as well. New back onto the Broodmother. I mean, Keza was saying that this is not too fun for the Nature's Prophet to plane because they're going to be able to kind of shove him out into the jungle early on. Do we feel like this is something that Ray can maybe have something else to say about it to offset this matchup?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, you're just going to get shoved out once he's level 6 on the Broodmother, but the thing that I just want to harp on it again, I feel like they just need to be making plays towards the top side as soon as possible. Like, what is going to be that 6-minute timing even? Do they get lucky with a haste rune on the top side, for example, that allows Zone to move to the top side, get the Nature's Prophet to TP into the lane, kill the Sven, take the tower, and open up the map for him to farm so that you're not having to go back to this deadly Broodmother lane? So we'll see if they do start to make rotations towards the power runes at around that 6-minute mark, because it's going to be so vital for them just to enable this Nature's Prophet to have any kind of game.
I think one really cool thing as well is the fact that Vici Gaming in their draft revealed early on that this DP was going to go mid. I know it was the Brood at the 8th, and of course they're very comfortable with New playing the Broodmother, but I think this just shows that they really believe in this Death Prophet. I know it's a strong hero at the moment, but a lot of its power comes through from its flex and hiding the role that it's going to be in towards the draft, but they truly believe that this is a incredibly bossed hero, and well, we know Setsu can play it at such a high level as well.
We do. I have to put it to you though, outside of the Lina, can you think of any of those huge counters to it? I can't really. You know, it's going to have a good time in most of these lanes, especially solo. Just get so many of those early levels, able to put multiple points into that Spirit Siphon and do exactly what Setsu's doing right now. He's even used an offensive glyph just to try and chase down Zone a little bit underneath his own tower.
Yeah, he's always crafty with his offensive glyphs in the lane, making it very difficult for the opposition to continue to stand his ground. I mean, we'll see Zone's going to be really cautious now up against the level 4 of Setsu, so there's always that potential to be able to secure the kill. Setsu doesn't have boots just yet. He's got it queued up, but Zone has his own boots queued as well, so kind of on the same page that he's going to need some extra movement speed to get away from the Spirit Siphon.
Liking the itemization this game as well from Mystique. NJ's already gotten into that ring of health for himself. That was one of the gripes that Kezu had about the previous game. Yes, it was on the safe laner instead, but you just consider the damage output that they've got coming through. Phoenix, he's going to be tossing those fire spirits at you every, what, 40 or so seconds? So in between, you're going to get a lot of regen coming through.
I think he's going to be in some trouble here. FY actually drags him into the cog, so Ray's going to be able to cookie him out, and FY won't be able to continue to chase with the battery soul. This is actually also another thing I wanted to bring up. Why do you feel like Vici have kind of put the clockwork on the 4 this game? Really often we see it's Yang playing the clockwork, and FY has a incredible Phoenix. So what do you kind of feel like the reasoning is for that?
I think they just needed someone to keep the Nature's Prophet away from the Broodmother to be able to begin with. And again, you're into the treants, right? Battery Assault now does that double damage, so you're able to actually clear those out and prevent a lot of this threat from coming through. I mean, we saw that they were really nearly able to set up a kill as well onto the NP, if not for the Snapfire being there. Even just the lane on top side, right? Do you really want to run a Clockwork and a Sven into a Timbersaw? Probably not.
I kind of also bottom lane, Bray.
Top as well.
Should end up being our first blood. You're gonna make sure he doesn't get denied to the neutrals, and top lane NJ looks like he's gonna be okay as well. So he'll be able to back on off. Wonder when we're gonna see DQQ start to kind of leave this lane. You've got the Timbersaw about to hit level 5, and with that 3rd point in reactive armor, should be able to have a much easier time. It is a bit different than what it used to be with the reactive armor, so we'll see if it's actually enough, because I haven't actually watched a lot of Timber since this change, but usually...
This kill onto Setsu, that'd be pretty huge. He's not quite yet level 6, and you've got 3 heroes from Mystique mid. Here we go.
Nice start. Look at the start. The cookie onto the creep wave, being able to set up for the chain control, but Setsu...
Surely he does.
He's going to be okay.
Oh.
He's got the Exo now as well, but he's not going to use it. We'll back off.
He can't get the power in as well. Oh, he's bullying away with the Exo.
Hero. He's not going to have mana for the Crypt Swarm, but we'll just chase him down with the Exo. Tangos are in the backpack, unfortunately. They're going to look to move on over. They might actually be able to blow him up if they can block him in with the setup for the Leshrac to close the distance, but Setsu is able to dodge out the Lightning Storm. They'll still find it the last second, but the damage wasn't enough towards the end, so Setsu...
Yeah.
Oh, that's a perfect timing of the voice line as well. I mean,
he's diving again. Look at this. Man has no fear.
There's nothing they can do. He's got some one charges, bottle sips as well. Crypt Swarm up in a couple of seconds, but Setsu... Of course, the beautiful thing about him as well, he does know when he needs to kind of tone it down a bit.
Oh, that's a solo kill. Oh, you hate to see it. I mean, to me, the Broodmother, yes, he wasn't level 6 yet, but that was the time that you needed to TP on the Nature's Prophet. Just guarantee the kill. It was so important for them to be able to pick that up, not just for the kill onto the DP, but also because they had a siege creep at the time, because the power runes were about to spawn, and Setsu just gets everything. He gets a kill, he gets the power rune, he doesn't die. Everything's gone right for Vici off the back of just that one little move. And again, outside of the NP not TPing in, they made the exact right movement that they needed to.
It was perfect execution as well. Oh, well.
Yep. That was
honestly,
close.
I'd have to go back and see like if they overlap like a stun for a slight second, but it looked perfect. Like you start with the cookie, the follow-ups there, the tusk wrapping around. Like it was a really crafty attempt, but you see the power of the Death Prophet, man.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a hero.
That's what you got to do, though. You got to make these ballsy plays up against teams like Vici and Ray's. Looks like he might die even running back underneath the tower. Although...
So Ray will go down, but yeah. Okay,
I think Zone's very happy with that.
What's going on? FY also... Oh, sorry, it was top lane Eric who was able to get DQQ. So yeah, we got action across the map. A 2 for 2 in the end, but like you said, Zone's going to be pretty happy with that exchange, being able to get the kill onto Setsu, so a little bit of gold and a little bit of experience, which is important. So Zone is now actually equal level with Setsu.
Gets the killing spree streak, which of course is incredibly important. I want to see NJ move down towards this bottom side of the map pretty shortly. Like, you've got a Broodmother that's consistently wanting to be pressuring this lane in. I know that Ray, I guess, can do a little bit of that deep push, but you're still only a level 4 Snapfire at this stage, and I think you need to open up the top lane as much as you can for the Nature's Prophet. They were able to take the tier 1 tower, so he's going to have the capability for it as well.
A big spider army trying to run them down as well. And how are you going to fight into this exorcism on Setsu? NJ's going to make the attempt. A lot of damage out of the Whirling Death will kill off FY.
Man needs
now,
mana,
who
though.
does he want to turn to afterwards? Maybe New's going to be the target. Was incredibly mobile here with the Broodmother, so he's going to be able to slide on away. Now Setsu still wants to go back in. Extra, a little bit of duration left, and that's all they need to chase down Zone. One more is enough to find it with the Stormhammer. Now NJ, he's going to be a bit cautious as well. They're playing their cooldowns perfectly. Stormhammer up shortly, along with the Spawn Spiderling. Setsu's going to be able to make it up to higher ground, but the Wrath in Nature will blow up Setsu before he can turn his abilities back onto NJ. He's got still some mana to work with. Stormhammer to hold him into place. The Tuskers respawn, closing the distance onto New. And it looks like Triple M is going to be able to TP in and have that +1 effect. So in the end, Team Mystique, a very, very messy engagement, but they do get some vital kills.
They do indeed. I was worried again that they wouldn't be able to pick up those key kills onto the high priority targets with Nature's Prophet not TPing. Eventually he does, just to be able to go back and farm, but Wrath of Nature at least able to pick up the cleanup there onto the DP, and they're going to be rewarded with a regen rune on the top side of the river as well. So yeah, Zone's been able to pick up a decent amount of farm for himself.
Yeah, along with all the other cores on Team Mystique as well. This is Midas now completed on the Nature's Prophet. NJ is this Hood? Yep, Hood completed as well for the Timbersaw. He's going to be working on the Sunjin Kaya as his next item as well. So all in all, Team Mystique, we'll see if they're going to be able to defend the tower once again, because that's going to be really the important thing for them. Vici Gaming have this kind of easy way to be able to find early objectives off the back of the Exo and the Broodmother. So
they smoked right under a ward as well. The one from when Tusk dropped it when he made that rotation towards the mid lane for the original kill onto the Leshrac. So he's going to be able to back off just in time to be able to escape this unless they get a quick glimpse of him. Oh, hook shot just a little bit too late.
Smoke. It's going to be off the mark here for Vici Gaming. They're going to look to try and turn their attention back to mid. Yu was in a position as well to pop Team Mystique smoke, so both sides not being able to get any value of the smokes 11 minutes in. Fire's going to find an angle with a hook shot though. Cookie, it's not going to get Zone in any better of a placement. Mortimer Kisses though could be the way to turn it around along with NJ's damage, but they need a way to address Setsu. As a DP now feels he's got a free fight to charge into the middle. We'll be able to clean up one, turns over to NJ next. The silence preventing the chain away, but the Hood should be enough damage mitigation to keep the Timber healthy.
Can they protect the tower though? They've still got that glyph available and they're going to pop it, but they weren't actually hitting the tower at the time, so NJ's got to be very careful with his positioning here. No urn charges left though, just the 1 point in the Sun Ray. Maybe they would consider popping the Supernova, but I think that Vici Gaming are going to be pretty happy just being able to take away that tier 1 tower.
Now Setsu's able to get an Arcane Rune as well for the reward. They have firm map control, so very important for the Death Prophet. We'll probably see her look to utilize that with their next Exo. Just a question of where they want to use it on the map, if they want to try and take a fight into an objective, or if they're just happy for a couple of kills off the back of the Exo.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you've got the Echo Saber now built up by the Sven, so he's starting to build into a little bit more of that burst damage. Still not truly wanting to fight unless the Timbersaw shows up, but it's going to be the BKB next for him, and I imagine the Blink Dagger after that, just for that insane burst that he's going to need to be outputting.
Eric having an incredible time, just getting all the farm he would ever want across the map. NJ will force out a Supernova though from Mr. Yang. More FY is also just, dude, he doesn't care. Look how aggressive he's playing. Running to the secret shop with no one really backing him up. Setsu's now going to be able to join. FY's still alive. They'll finally be able to take away his life, but he soaked up so many abilities. So now Setsu and Yu, they should feel pretty content about running in, but in fact Setsu, he'll look to try and TP out instead, and Yu's going to be able to sidestep the Split Earth as well. Beautiful play coming through. The quick little fingers from Yu, being able to dodge that one. So in the end, it's just a 1-for-1, but of course, a vital exchange for the boys on Vici, as they were able to find the carry in the Nature's Prophet.
And I believe, unless I'm mistaken, that was a 3v5 as well. Phoenix was not part of that. Sven was not part of that. Both of them are continuing to gain what's most important to them. Of course, Phoenix with that experience, just scaling so incredibly well against this Mystique lineup. If he's able to pick up that Sun Ray. And, what are we looking at?
Oh, Erica just sliced away the life of the Snapfire. Quick and easy kill with the God Strength. And, well, look at that. Bottom lane shoved out as well, so perfect time for them to get an extra kill as Snapfire on point with the Rocket Flare. Scouts out Zone's positioning. I spy with my little eye a free kill onto the Lesh, and Erica can get some damage into the tower as well with the last remaining seconds of the ultimate.
Doing exactly what he needs to. You know, not showing up on the map unless he's actually got that kill potential there. Of course, making every little bit of use out of it to be able to close this map in. Again, the Nature's Prophet doesn't want to be bullied out of his regular farming areas, but it reaches a point where, you know, there's just nowhere for three heroes. I'm not sure if they can.
I think they're trying for the toss setup into the Mortimer Kisses. They're going to lay down the ultimate now, but the Sunray heal is just repairing all of the damage, and an attempt, but Mystique, that's all it was in the end.
I mean, they do protect the tower, but it's a question of for how long, right? Like, Yang's back down here, 10 seconds away from the Sunray once again. He's got the Supernova available. Just 400 gold away from being able to pick up that full Spirit Vessel as well. So, unless they fully commit and win this team fight off the back of the Timbersaw, I'm thinking it might start to be curtains for Mystique.
Look at you just running behind the tower, scouting out if anyone else is playing behind NJ. So they're going to put all of their attention over to the Timbersaw. Oh, the cookie, no, he went in. They're going to try and deal with the egg. They will be able to kill it off. Erica also committed incredibly deep. So uppercut him to the sky, but Setsu's rocked up. And without an answer to the Death Prophet, he's going to look to try and turn his attention over to Ray. An easy cleanup for the position to a Vici. And they'll look to get the tower afterwards as well in the end. So unfortunately for Mystique, those casualties, well, it won't be enough to keep the objective alive.
It's a little bit too much, isn't it? Even when you do almost everything right, your Nature's Prophet just gets run down by Setsu. I mean, he is once again doing everything perfectly. Just creating a ton of space around the map, taking towers, isolating heroes in the middle of these team fights. This is a new man. You know, we haven't seen this level of gameplay from him for what seems like 4 years.
It's great to see him back on a team of a caliber like Vici and the players that are surrounding him as well.
Yeah, players he respects,
very, very exciting.
for sure.
Yes, that's the important thing.
Going into a Witchblade from himself as well, so just more stuff to be able to kite around in these team fights, a little bit more sustained. Not that there's too heavy of a physical damage output coming through from Mystique. But Zone's nearly gotten into his Bloodstone though.
Okay.
So, you know, little silver linings coming through.
There
Karen's on shortly for
unfortunately
NJ.
Him and the Timber, I suppose that there's about to be a Spirit Vessel. And you've got Yang is probably going to put in Sunray before a talent. So yeah, you've got Sunray maxed out now for 6.25% of your max health. So you're going to have really big issues. Like Yang has to die first.
Yep.
If Yang does not die first, I don't see these team fights going well at all.
And they see nothing right now on the map as well. They've got a little bit of vision of the top power rune on Mystique, but outside of that, it's basically let's use Timbersaw for this. And they actually find him though. Okay. They got to look for more.
That's the one. The Nature's Prophet going to consider about TPing in. It is available, but
I think you have to. He's got the Sprout available. Even if it's just a very brief glimpse of Erica before he uses the Quelling Blade to cut himself out. Maybe you catch out the Sven there. They didn't have Exorcism to be able to make the turnaround. They will now, though, in a couple of seconds.
Alright, F5. Gonna find an angle in with a hook shot.
It's predictions, FY, though.
Nothing he's going to be able to do. A free kill here for Vici Gaming. They're going to try and sweep through the jungle and maybe see if there's any vision they can look to take away as well. I believe they did scout out NJ with that Tinker Ward down bottom, but no way for them to be able to prevent the Timber from being able to chain away. So, yep, they've got firm control of this bottom jungle now. They might look to try and connect to mid because Setsu, well, he's got a DD and the Exo. ready to go. So this tower's going to be under some threat.
You got God Strength, you got the BKB as well finished up for Erica, so he is a lot less scared of this Timbersaw right now. And Timber actually has to be the one that's wary. You let the Sven get too much more farm though, and he's going to be into that Blink Dagger, but he's just going to go in.
Again, you need to address Yang. I mean, that has to be priority number one, and Setsu putting his body on the front line means that Yang will get a full duration out of the Sun Ray, so DQQ is going to go down. They'll turn with the Mortimer Kisses, but the BKB protecting Erica, so they can look to step away. Vici, well, they're more than content with what's just occurred. They're going to look to try and regen up and maybe go once again.
Yeah, it really feels like those kisses needed to come about 5 seconds earlier, or just not at all, right? Because now you know that you're not going up against a God Strength, you know you're not going up against an Exorcism, but do you have as much damage output as you would want? Probably not. I mean, Zone's going to put himself out there, realizing that he's got the Bloodstone available, and well, hopefully for his sake, he'll have some support sitting behind him, but it's actually NJ that's the main target here for FY.
Overlap some of the control at the moment.
Vessel's in onto him though.
Buy him some time. Zone's going to look to try and charge in the middle as well, with the Supernova laid down. NJ's in some trouble. They'll get the kill into the Timber, and they're already looking for more as well. With Zone, what can you do on the last track? The freshly completed Bloodstone, but it's hitting no one with the spells. The life still won't be enough. And the Sun Rays up once again, just burning all of Mystique to a juicy crisp. Vici Gaming, they got some lanes to address. It looks like they're going to back up Setsu and Erica to address the top side, but again, these team fights not looking easy at all for Mystique to be able to take control of.
I mean, they did that without God Strength and Exorcism. You know, that's just the cohesion that comes through. They're never wanting to let the pressure up against a lot of these teams. And I mean, I got to say, once again, I feel like it's another fight that Nature's Prophet probably could have joined a little bit earlier. You're a little low on the BKB front for Vici Gaming. They have only had to use it one time on both the Sven and the DP. So if you come in there with the Gleipnir, you can't chase down that Leshrac. You can't chase down that Timbersaw.
Yeah. We just saw how they played that last fight pretty much perfectly. Hold that Clockwork. Might be able to find an angle for the hook shot. These dodges from
He knew what was going on though
Prophet.
on NP.
Yeah. We saw that last team fight what Vici were doing. They were just playing their distance. As soon as the Bloodstone was activated, you just pop the Vessel and kind of play away so Zone's not able to hit anyone with his spells. And then once the Bloodstone active expires, you're able to easily look to slide back into the middle. So nice communication from Vici in that previous team fight. And we'll probably see that be kind of the similar story for these upcoming fights.
And it's just going to become even more challenging, right? Now you might not even need to pop that BKB either for the Bloodstone, because you've got the Mage Slayer on the Sven. Not only are you taking less damage, meaning that it's not going to give as much of the active for the Bloodstone, but you're dealing less, so it's like a double whammy.
Yeah, I think this item's pretty dumb. All it gives you for 2,400 gold is NJ. It's got a decent amount of reactive armor stacks. F5 looking for the maximum use of the chain control. NJ, he walked back to him anyway. It was really not much he could have done there regardless. Into the tree line. Timber loves to play with trees, but not when they're in that many in one close proximity.
Yeah, I mean, even FY, his itemization, he went into the Blade Mail there, realizing that, you know, Timber's going to try and get away somewhat. He's going to use the Whirling Death to be able to remove some of that strength to stop the damage coming through from the Sven. Instead, ends up just chunking down his own HP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But the DD on Setsu, so the tier 2 mid's going to end up going down. Exo is ready to work with as well.
Radiant's top tower
They might consider about holding it for Roche, which they still haven't looked to claim just yet. Erica's actually trying to hunt Zone. Well, he's going to see the Diabolic Edict pop in the tree line to know exactly where he is, but also FY, of course, being that vision to be able to assist with Erica. Meanwhile, back inside the mid lane, Setsu, with two other members of Vici Gaming, are able to take the team fight with a numbers disadvantage, so an easy kill onto DQQ did come at a cost at the Exorcism, so a bit of a cooldown, but they'll still be able to get some ejectors off the back of it, so not the worst ultimate usage.
NP
Radiant's top tower.
Getting use out of the minus, he's building up into that BKB from himself, getting incredibly close. I'm not really sure that the BKB is going to enable too much of anything for the NP this game, though. Like, you're going up against a Sven, heavy physical damage, sure, there's the stun, silence on the DP, doesn't really matter. If you're getting Spirit Siphoned, you're probably dead anyway. Just all these sorts of things, right? Even the Sunray, you're not the main target for that. It's going to be onto the Timbersaw, onto the Leshrac in the middle of these fights, so... I'm thinking that they probably just want to take one cohesive fight as a full unit together. They're going to have to do it. I mean, they've had the past few fights be outnumbers for themselves, and now you're going to be going up against a 6v5 with that Aegis about to be picked up by Vici.
Who do you even give this to? Do you give it to Erica or Setsu?
I think you give
actually,
it to
Nemo
Erica.
FY is caught out zone. The duo support from Vici Gaming just picking off zone just like that.
It feels rough, doesn't it? You know, support's able to do the job that most of the time takes cores to be able to do. And he was so close to being able to pick up that Yule Scepter for
They're
himself.
on the Nature's Prophet.
Oh, no.
Oh,
If he goes down, they might
he's
call
not going to be
this.
able to. Oh, no. Setsu's on another, man. The QQ's going to try and TP out, and well, unfortunately for Setsu, will not have a way to prevent that, so he's going to be able to escape, but mid lane, top lane, both getting shoved out. The Nature's Prophet's going to be up in 30 seconds, but the buildings might take too much damage by the time he's back alive.
Yeah, I mean, Sven, he's nearly level 20. He's nearly got an Orchid for himself as well. It might even be the full Bloodstone that's sitting on the Curious for the Sven. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. Not Bloodstone, Bloodthorn. Pretty damn significant going up against heroes like the Timbersaw just to be able to burst them through.
Alright, they're going to start on you, but it's not Yang. So Yang just heals him up.
Yep. Pop the pipe, pop the Greaves, Sunray, and you're golden. See, you've got a Veil now as well. So Yang's going to be dealing damage as well as the sustain capability.
But Yang's got a Veil?
Yep, he's got it coming on the Korean now, I believe.
He's got 2k gold in the bank as well. This guy's rich.
Gordon sold it. Yeah, he's got E-Blade instead. But there we go. Bloodthorn, Aegis, 3 minutes, level 20, Sven.
Oh,
Loma.
Great target to jump into the middle of. They'll hold the Leshrac into place, and now they'll look to turn to the Nature's Prophet as well. The body blocks from FY is going to prevent NP from getting further to the base, so somehow finding him a way out of the cogs. But the rest of the team is still going to struggle. It's going to be cautious about the Exo Spirits. He will be okay for the moment. Meanwhile, Mortibit is getting laid down for the backline, but Erica protected thanks to the pipe. So the magic damage isn't even enough. And meanwhile, NJ, well, he's trying to do it himself. The damage is starting to rack up for the Timbersaw, but now with the Mage Slayer activated, Timber has to retreat to the higher ground, and Setsu will chase him down. Meanwhile, DQQ snowboard out of the base, so Setsu can jump on that opportunity to chase him up. A Cookie will be able to reposition him back to safety, but it looks like Vici will just turn to deal with the objectives instead of the heroes.
Still respecting the strength of this Leshrac, though. Without the Phoenix being available, they know that Lash has enough burst damage to be able to deal with them, especially ever since picking up that Yule Scepter as well, to be able to get rid of the silence. Even when the Phoenix is there, getting rid of that Spirit Vessel is such a key factor for Zone, but the issue for me is that it's just going to take far too long for him to get all that he truly needs, the Aghanim Shard, to be able to protect that high ground push and the BKB for all the reasons we just mentioned. Can't step that far forward, got to be careful.
They're always ready to jump, Vici. Any opportunity, you got this blink on Erica, of course the hook shot from FY, almost scepter from him as well, so he's going to be able to have the spam of the rocket flare to scout out wherever Mystique are playing, and look at the ward outside the base as well. Setsu's going to run into both the supports, looking to try and venture out and find some control, and meanwhile inside the lane, Erica not going to have enough damage by himself to get the kill into the Nature's Prophet. He'll force reactions nonetheless. They might just turn to zone though, but Leshrac's in trouble, and Setsu, no hesitation with jumping up to the higher ground. I'll target down with the Leshrac with ease. One more swipe of the big swords able to cut away his life. and even a zoning supernova just to enable Vici to retreat.
Steals them all the way back to full as well. Erica, he's already got some lifesteal coming through from that Mask of Madness, but yeah, the Spirit Vessel on top of that. He's nearly got a Shivas as well, so all of this regen that's coming through, Yang's been itemizing perfectly. His positioning outside of maybe one fight has been pretty much perfect. He's level 15 as well, not even opting for the plus 500 health, just trusting that he's going to put himself in the right spot and realizing that the damage output, especially against this Timber, is going to be more of a factor for his team's success.
Yeah, we're kind of at this stage where you got to go farm on the opposite side of the map, isn't it, Nature's Prophet?
All right.
It might get... Yeah?
Question for you. What do you think the win probability is before looking?
3%?
It is 0% right now. Oof. I mean, Gaben clearly valuing the strength of FY God, but yeah, I would honestly put it in the same sort of category. It seems like the perfect storm needs to happen if Mystique are going to make any sort of attempt, and well, they're going to push on forward. Maybe they need to use someone to act as bait, but I'm not sure if the Nature's Prophet is tanky enough to be able to be that tender morsel to be dangling forward.
Tender morsel? No, I unfortunately don't think he's tender enough, and
they're just looking for the Phoenix, but Phoenix is up in the jungle farming.
He's not even there. I mean, NJ's going to look to jump in. It's a lot of damage. They'll be able to blow up New without Yang being nearby to kind of help heal him up. But that was kind of kisses used in Wrath of Nature as well, so Setsu might feel okay to actually siege off the back of this Exo.
And FY's got my favorite item as well. He's got the Aghanims, just wanting to be able to launch a lot of those rockets in onto the backline, reveal all the information that they could possibly want on Vici, to be able to use the overwhelming blink on Setsu, to use the blink on the Sven as well, just to be able to catch those key targets, because you know Snapfire has been pretty instrumental to a lot of the disengage that Team Mystique have been able to do up until now.
In. They spy out Yang, so as soon as you see the Phoenix, they're veering all their attention over towards Yang's location, but the sun rays out. The crits are raining down as well. And the cause of Mystique won't be long for this world. At least the Nature's Prophet's going to be able to cut through the cogs. She'll look for her own TP, and it'll be stopped short. Erica, as soon as the Magic community stops, will get the Stormhammer out, and the G's will follow shortly afterwards as Vici Gaming make quick work of Team Mystique. Not as quick as game one, but still an incredible showing from them, and nonetheless will continue on with this flawless run so far in Division 2.